only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it.
Tonight at 11, Donald Trump speaking from Mar-a-Lago after an unprecedented arraignment. The former president facing a judge in New York City charged with felony crimes.
And a show of support for Trump seen outside of the Manhattan courthouse and at Mar-a-Lago. Trump
is the first president to ever be placed under arrest.
And despite the indictment, he says he will continue his 2024 run for the White House. We have live team coverage for you tonight on this historic day from Palm Beach to Manhattan.
And we begin with Local 10's Janine Stanwood live at Mar-a-Lago with Trump's reaction to the charges. Janine.
And as you know, the former president did not say a word when he was in New York, but here in South Florida, in the comfort of home and in front of his supporters, he spoke for about 30 minutes. There were teleprompters, but in typical Donald Trump fashion, a lot of what he said seemed freewheeling and unscripted.
Thank you very much, everybody. We have to save our country.
In what seems like worlds away from a Manhattan courtroom, supporters at Mar-a-Lago erupted as the former president entered the opulent ballroom.
The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it.
His audience, a mix of bikers in leather vests, donors in MAGA hats, and outspoken supporters like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Mr. Trump lashed out at his impeachments, the investigation into documents seized here in Palm Beach, and the prosecutor in New York overseeing the indictment.
Local failed district attorney charging a former president of the United States for the first time in history on a basis that every single pundit and legal analyst said, there is no case. There's no case. They kept saying, there's no case.
The Trump campaign also turning this historic indictment into an opportunity, all day sending emails, including this one, asking for contributions of $47 for this T-shirt with a fake mugshot emblazoned with the words, "Not guilty."
With a very dark cloud over our beloved country, I have no doubt, nevertheless, that we will make America great again. Thank you very much. And God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
The former president repeated statements that he's made in the past, that he's been treated unfairly, that investigations against him, he says, are politically motivated. And speaking of politics, his campaign says they have raised a lot of money since the indictment was announced. In fact, they say that the campaign has raised about $10 million. We're in Palm Beach. I'm Janine Stanwood, Local 10 News.
Okay, Janine, thanks a lot. Few words from Trump as he walked in and out of the New York City courtroom to answer those nearly 3 dozen charges against him earlier today.
And that's where Local 10's Glenna Milberg picks up our team coverage. She has more on that now unsealed indictment. Glenna.
Nicole, Calvin, one specific charge 34 times. The Manhattan District Attorney actually laid them out for the public, defended them, explained them under national scrutiny. And with them today, an ex-president becomes a current criminal defendant.
President Trump, will you come speak to us?
Again on center stage, but in someone else's production.
The defendant repeatedly made false statements on New York business records.
New York City's top prosecutor headlined the 34 counts against Donald J. Trump, each one a falsified business record in an alleged shell game with hush money for porn star Stormy Daniels and 2 other women to prevent their stories from crashing his 2016 campaign for president. Evidence includes reimbursement checks to his former lawyer and fixer, Michael Cohen, and the grand jury heard from the then National Enquirer publisher who said he knew about it.
To a catch and kill scheme. That is a scheme to buy and suppress negative information to help Mr. Trump's chance of winning the election.
At the defense table with his lawyers who plan a fight, they say Mr. Trump pleaded not guilty, never seeing the circus-like political theater in the park 15 stories below.
Lock him up! Lock him up! I'm here to watch Trump go to jail.
They don't have any case against him. They fabricated a case. They looked for a case.
NYPD kept a 10-foot buffer between the very passionate supporters and opponents. Loud, angry at times, though peaceful, and broadcast globally by media from around the world. And so today, a spectacle of a day becomes a spectacle of a case. On the witness list for the prosecution, porn star Stormy Daniels. Next hearing for this case is not until December. I'm Glenna Milberg, live in Lower Manhattan tonight, Local 10 News.
Many months away. Thanks, Glenna. Our team coverage turns now to our D.C. Bureau Chief, Ben Kennedy. He's live in Washington with the latest reaction from lawmakers. Ben.
Well, Nicole, South Florida lawmakers are speaking out about that indictment you were talking about. Democrats want to see it play out in the courts, while Republicans call it a bad day for the nation.
It's poison to our country.
Strong words from Florida Senator Marco Rubio on former President Donald Trump facing a judge Tuesday.
President Trump.
Charged in the Manhattan's DA's criminal investigation.
Whether you like Trump or not, we are going to regret this day for a very long time. We are setting a new normal, a damaging new normal, that is going to disfigure American politics and put us on a destructive road.
South Florida Republican Representative Carlos Jimenez called it nothing more than a sham that we see far too often in the brutal dictatorships from which so many in my community have fled from. Democrats disagree. Congressman Jared Moskowitz says it's a terrible moment, tweeting, "No one is above the law." Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer released a statement in part that I believe that Mr. Trump will have a fair trial that follows the facts and the law.
Is the indictment of your predecessor politically divisive?
No comment by President Biden on his predecessor as the White House made clear the indictment.
This is not his focus for today. I have not spoken to him in the recent days on these developments. It's not our focus.
And President Biden did say he does have faith in the legal system, but did stop short in mentioning Trump's name. Reporting live in Washington, D.C., Ben Kennedy, Local 10 News.
Okay, Ben, thanks a lot. Dozens of supporters cheered on the former president from outside of his Mar-a-Lago resort, and there was at least one protester among the crowd. Local 10's Terrell Forney live now outside Mar-a-Lago with this part of our team coverage tonight. Terrell?
Yeah, minutes after landing at Palm Beach International, this is the very road that the former president took to get to his Mar-a-Lago estate. His supporters were certainly aware and ready. The motorcade carrying Donald Trump moved swiftly down Southern Boulevard in West Palm Beach, where dozens of his diehard supporters cheered on his return home.
I want the former president to know we're here, obviously, all of us, for his support. He really needs the support.
I want to support him and show that that's what we believe.
The flags were abundant, some small, others very large, mostly in support of Trump and his 2024 presidential campaign. But there was at least one opponent in the crowd who waved a "Lock Him Up" sign on the same day that the former president was arraigned in court on criminal charges.
There's too many people here still trying to support him, and I want to be here to let him know that we're not all in favor of him. I wish more people would speak up against it.
The crowd of mostly Trump supporters here, though, was not swayed, each one believing the indictment is nothing more than a political ploy.
He will overcome this. There's no question.
And there were plenty of officers on hand, not just to watch the crowd, but to also pause the flow of traffic. This allowed Trump to get to his Mar-a-Lago estate quickly and safely in about half of the time that it would take for that very short distance. Reporting live from West Palm Beach tonight, Terrell Forney, Local 10 News.
Terrell, thank you, and stay with Local 10 on air and online for complete coverage of former President Trump pleading not guilty. You can read the full indictment on our website, local10.com.